to you by Law Nation Sports. The name is Law Nation. Without hesitations nor deviations to the matter, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let that friend, that neighbor know where to go when it's time. Tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. That's including the Ice Wall. If one thing we can adore, let's get it.
Ready?
Cowboys final grade.
All the same.
The good, the bad, and the ugly. UGLY. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly. 5, 4, 3. Mama said that there will be days literally just like this.
All I ask.
Oh, look at my African American over here.
I gave you everything I had.
2. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. Come on. What we got?
I got peas and bananas. That's where we are. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe
Rock your train. Fertilize your brain.
Greetings, Your Highness.
Yeah, on paper, they're a better team. They have all the assets and resources that we don't. But when you get on the line, that's what platforms and what we're born to do and what we're like.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. All right, I seen y'all. Okay. See. I see y'all. I'm doing overall grades. Appreciate everybody for jumping in. I'm seeing that you guys are seeing B- for Schottenheimer and F+ for this Eberflus. And the reason why I have a B-, you can't put up 5,000 yards and say, yeah, you give that man a C. That's just my rationale. Now, could it be a B+, A+? He had some corrections that he needed to do, especially as it relates to red zone. If you look back at Schottenheimer's scheme, the red zone been atrocious. And when you add up like the total sum of things, trying to account for the defense, you got to look back at it and say, man, we were put in some strange elements. We were put into some strange situations as it relates to that. The F+ and not the F straight or minus for Matthew Eberflus, because there was a stretch of games when you contextualize the fact that you added in Quinnen Williams for the Cowboys to do what they did, dare I say, against the Eagles and the Chiefs. You got to give him a plus on the F. It would have been a flat F- or a straight up F if he didn't contextualize, if y'all don't contextualize those two games, right? But overall, the overall grade is probably, when you add both together, probably a D for the season. If you throw in the special teams, you got to understand that special teams were terrible too. So I will give the special teams a D+ right at C. But we're going to look at all of this. We're going to try to go over all of this all together and get things going the best way possible. Because It is for what it is. Now, I get the jokes. We already talking about to a degree next season. And we got 2 games left in this season. And it's one of those things whereas you can say to yourself, yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, it is a situation. Because next season, we got Arizona at home. Let me pull this up for those who's tuning in for the very first time. I'm going to pull this up and get things going that way. The schedule came out for the 2026 next season opponent. The Cowboys better be grit ready. No excuses, by the way. Put a 1 in the chat if the audio is straight. Arizona, home game. We haven't beaten Arizona since 2017. We got to play against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And first, before I even move on from Arizona been Achilles heel, been a thorn in our damn side for a long time. Jacksonville, it looks like they're going to be dangerous. Yeah. And they may add 2. And I know every year it's a different situation. We already know how San Francisco look, right? In Tennessee, we got to be ready for them because you just never know. And then we play the either the Pittsburghs or Baltimore, or we're going to play the Carolina or Tampa Bay at home. Or we play both of those teams, if I'm reading this correctly. The away games, we got to play Houston. We got to play the Indianapolis, who, hey, they looking really good. Rams, Seattle, Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit. It's not getting easy for us. It's not. So if the Cowboys really want to change the mindset and the culture and all of these things, they got to make sure that they bringing in the right mindset for the 2026 season. They got to make sure. Because right now, if we try to roll with that weak sauce again for 2026, starting off bad, trying to use the first 3 or 4 games as the preseason game, that is not going to work, baby. And with this soft defense, soft, Charmaine, this defense is brought to you by Charmaine. Why is Zeke going to pull up? We got to get better. Let me see if I can pull up this Cowboys. Hold on. I got to sign in. Give me 1 second here. Hold on. Got to sign in. All right. Oh, no. All right. Sign in. Appreciate y'all. We're going to get in here. We finna pull up the Cowboys. And this is where we at. Appreciate you. 30 years without a trip. This show sucks. I fear that the Cowboys, you won't see another Super Bowl in your lifetime. I feel you on the Facebook side. I feel you, fam. 30 years, 30 seasons. We can look at it 2 ways. We can look at it literally 2 ways. One way we can look at it as, on one end, we can look at it as we loyal. On the other end, we can look at it that we are delusional. I'm loyal, baby. We all loyal, baby. That's all it is. Yeah. Sherman soft, baby. All right, hold on. And let's go back to this spot right here. Appreciate y'all so much. Appreciate each and every last one of y'all. If we look at this, 424 yards. Let me say this again. 424 yards is what we accumulated, or points I meant to say, my bad. Points, 424 points. It puts you in 5th in the National Football League. Let me say this again. 424 points put you in 5th in the National Football League. 454 points allowed put you in 31st. If you can just slice that in half, you're in the playoff. If you can, let me say this again. If you can just slice that in half, you're in the playoff. One of the things that I want to bring up Delusion loyalty. Yeah. Yeah, one of the things I want to pull up, and give me 1 second here. Hold on. We're not rolling credits yet. Hold on. Get off there. One of the things that I would like to pull up, because I saw Toxic Tom pull this in, and my apologies.
Sleeper is the
My apologies. It starts from the top first. All right. Let's get it out the way then. And we're not going to rush the show. Where are you guys giving the grade for the front office then? And let's start from player personnel. Willie McClay. What are y'all? Hold on. Is that everybody? Let's start with Will McClay. And then we're going to give Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones, Charlotte Jones, all of them. What grade are y'all giving Will McClay? And he got us Tommy. He was a non-factor. Phil Maffa, non-factor. Jay Toya, he gave us a teaspoon. Cornelius, not really being able to give us anything year one. Shamar James, he's okay. Jadon Blue just couldn't learn the playbook. Siobhan Revel, I think that you should have put him on ice, but I'm just going to put a dash right here. Donovan Ezraku, I'm going to put a dash right here. And Tyler Booker. I'm giving Tyler Booker for the year. I got to give him maybe a B+, close to an A. For Donovan Ezraku, for what he was called to do, giving him right around B to a B-, man. I think that he did a great job. Siobhan Revel, incomplete grade. But that's what this draft looked like. And I'm not putting it all on Will, but just for kicks and giggles, I just want to know. So a lot of you guys got him right at a C, right? All right, so let me see, C-, C+, D from Eric. F them all, you know. Yeah, 30 years long, 30 everything in the NFC, teams that made the championship, but Dallas, yeah. A+ for Tyler Booker, I feel you. They should really fire him. I think if the Cowboys fire Will McClay, then they wouldn't have a scapegoat. And it'd be kind of crazy. But I'm going to go with the latter, and you guys going to say C. I'm going to give Will McClay that C. Moving up to Charlotte Jones, Stephen Jones, Jerry Jones, Junior Jones. What are y'all giving them to, man, before we go to Stephen Jones? What are you guys giving Chief Officer, Co-owner, Chief Sales Marketing Officer, Co-owner, Jerry Jr.? They doing their jobs, man. These two are doing their jobs, man. It's hard pressed for me to do anything. I'm going to give them to a B+. I don't have anything wrong with marketing. I don't see anything wrong with branding and everything of that. All right? All right, so let's get to the brother's son, Stephen Jones, who don't look like this picture anymore. Him and Jerry, we're going to grade these guys at the same time because they do a lot of talking. All right. What's their grade, baby? What's their grade? A plus, B plus, C plus, D plus, F plus. John Sullivan says F. Alexandra says F. Yeah, them two get passes down below. I feel you. Yeah, boy. Jerry, you see your report card, Jerry? Jerry. That's an F. So F plus. All right. Sorensen, special teams guy. Nick Sorensen. What are you guys giving Nicholas Sorensen? What are you guys are giving Nicholas Sorensen? He's the special team coach with 12 years of experiences, and we led most of NFL with some type of flag of choices, you know. F. Boy, y'all tough crowd today, boy. Jeez. All right, straight out F. F minus. Okay. All right. I do like this part. We got defense time. The good, the bad, the ugly. Before we grade defensive coordinator Matthew Eberflus, let's talk about the D-line coach, the secondary coach, which is Darian Thompson. Darian Thompson been on this team too long as a coach. Bangaze. And where's that damn DB coach? Here he is, David Overstreet. Let's start from the top. Secondary coach, David Overstreet. Not Overshawn, but Overstreet. Where are you giving him, man? What are y'all giving him, man? Whew. Somebody right now saying, please come home. Hey, Harris, I got beans and bologna. Expelled. Okay, he give him big O F. Juicy F. F. All right. Linebackers coach, David Banganzi. All right. I don't even have to ask it. Oh, my gosh. D-line for your mind. Aaron, not Whiteside, but White Cotton. Now, he can't get a whole F, can he? Defensive line coach, man. What are y'all giving him, man? Appreciate y'all. JD from DC says, F, fired. Don't give none of these guys a passing grade. I at least give him a D plus, man. Come on, man. Give the man a D plus at least. He couldn't get pressure. I get that. But the interior, boy, we stopped some runs, boy. Yeah, I mean, we held some teams in check. We did. Give the man at least. Don't. I can't say it, but at least give the man, you know. Yeah. Pause if necessary. Give that man that. I can't even say it, boy. I can't even say give that man that grade. All right, so we got defensive coordinator Matthew Eberflus. I already gave him an F plus, and that what made it F plus. At least it's D plus right here. So let me put it on this. Let me put it up here. Yeah. All right, let's get to it. Where that O-line at? That's a high top fade there, boy. All right. Tight end room. What y'all giving the tight end room? That's my guy, Lunda Wells, 14 years, of experiences here. What are you guys giving the tight end? Yeah. D. John Sullivan. D. Nothing. Alexandra. Nothing. F. Come on, man. Yeah. Ooh, a lot of F's. Off with the head. C plus. C's okay. Negative V. Oh, so y'all right around there. Running back, coach. Bubba Dub cousin. We love you, Bubba Dub. All right. So what y'all giving the running back, coach? If I'm really looking at it, I think the run blocking could be better. Outside of that, I like the way the running backs pressed holes. They look uniformly joint. You know, it didn't seem as if though outside of the fumble issues with all of the running backs, right? Even when we had Miles Sanders, you know, I think that they read their keys. The land foot was good. Press got upfield. Not gonna hold y'all, but I'm gonna do a B plus for him. I'm just gonna do a B plus for him. This wasn't like the time that we had the other guy, Jeff Blasco, by the way. You know, hey, this was a big improvement from Jeff Blasco. You know, so I'm damn near want to give him an A for having Javonte Williams to get over 1,000 yards, man. I want to give him an A, but we're a tough crowd, man. We didn't make it to the postseason, so I'm gonna give him a B plus. We'll save the quarterback coaches for last. Wide receiver coach, and then we go to his offensive line. Wide receiver coach Junior Adams. Here's what I'm gonna say about Junior Adams. I didn't like, and this is just my critique, and there's nothing to him personally. I didn't like that his emphasis wasn't on the other wide receivers while I was out there in Oxnard. He paid attention to only CeeDee Lamb and as well as Pickens. I didn't really see him coaching it up like the previous wide receiver coach to the other guys. Now, him and Trayshawn Holden, they had a unique relationship. But I think that Junior Adams, he should have fought more for Ryan Flournoy. And we cursed all the way because whenever we get something good, it just started to happen with the injuries. But overall, I got to give him maybe a C plus or right at a B. I think our wide receivers did good. It's just that we had politic issues in that wide receiver room for me. But if you look at it and you say to yourself, if the Cowboys had big cojones or gonads, they would have walked right in here to this season with CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, and Ryan Flournoy. I think the inability to let go of certain people is one of their Achilles heels too. So I'll give him a flat-out B. I think he did a good job, you know. And then he do teach aggressive, greeting the ball, approach and come back to the ball, fight to the ball. I literally seen him do that, right? The last coach, I think his name was Sanjay Lyles or whoever that damn coach was. No. It's tipping my tongue. Not Sanjay Lyles. But y'all know who the last coach was. I just think that he was just like, hey, I got talent. I don't have to coach as much. But I give him a B. I've seen him work with CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. I just wish that he would have focused some emphasis on some other wide receivers, right? But neither here nor there. Let's talk about the O-line for your mind. Connor Riley, this is his first year coaching in the pros, dealing with these superstars and all-stars and all of this. I think that they showed some moments in some games, like week 1, we were like, hey, They did a great job. We got a super chat. First super chat of the day. JD from DC says Tolbert, Turpin, Mingo equals trash. Oh my gosh. Woo. Tolbert, Turpin, Mingo. Mingo was your fourth or fifth best wide receiver in training camp. Turpin, to be fair to him, he got arrested right before training camp. When he got into training camp, he was very locked in. He knew that he was going to get utilized and used more, and he pressed the entire season. I didn't like Turpin being used as much. I wanted him to be used and utilized, but I didn't like the aspect of him being utilized down the field. He wasn't really a game changer from what we are accustomed to seeing. We can't even think of he had a big 25-yard play in one game, and that's about it. But we recall Turpin, Tolbert dropping some crucial catches when Dak Prescott tried to spread the ball. So I feel where you're coming from. Thank you for the super chat, JD from DC. But to this offensive line, I'm going to give them 2 grades. And I'm going to give him a little grace. We may can throw Mercy out, but we're going to give him a little grace. The center and the 2 guards, regardless of who played this season, give them an A+. Our inside zone runs was crazy good. Our ability to stretch zone run inside GT counters was good. I like what we were able to do from the interior. A+. A+, believe it or not. A+. Chef kiss. This is where we get negative as far as our grades. You went from A to the inside to a D. Some can call it a damn F to the outside. Our tackles were atrocious. Let me say this again. When teams, and this is why his overall grade is going to be about a C. Matter of fact, A+ interior, F on the tackle side. F, another F on the failure to make the necessary adjustments. You should have spread the wealth out. What they doing now to Tyler Smith is what a third of you guys were saying before the season got on. If the Cowboys saw the kind of caliber of season the offense was having, and all they needed to do was to make the necessary shift adjustment of putting Tyler Smith at left tackle, right? I get what Terrence Steele was doing, right? He had some bad games, real bad games on pass pro. When we were running the ball, he did some mauling stuff. But his pass pro is to be damned, especially when you have the kind of caliber of quarterback that's having an MVP run. Like their lack of adjustments on that offensive line, I have to give him an F on the outside. Tackle's terrible. It's just for what it is. Nice engine, transmission slipping. Right? Nice car, no side doors or something, you know. It just for what it is. No adjustments. And then the extension of the offensive line are your tight ends. If your tackles are getting worked, I didn't see the necessary adjustments from the offensive line to reach out to the tight end coach and say, we're going to have to keep some guys to protect the quarterback. I know he's a rookie coach. Slow feet don't eat. Beat your feet. not your heat. JD from DC states this, and I appreciate you. Let me pull up his comment here. Without the O-line coach, both Dak and Milton will be retired. He did not draft the tackles. B+ for Connor Riley. I feel you. I feel you fighting for Connor Riley. And here's the other caveat to it. I would take him over the last coaches that we had all the way until, what's his name, Cunningham, Bill Cunningham, or whatever his name was, Callahan, Bill Callahan. This is his first year, though. So Connor Riley, I think that next season, go into that damn draft, start fighting, go into this free agency period, because free agency happened before the draft. Fight for the guys that you know. But next season, I do not want to see Tyler Guyton at left tackle. Let me say this again. I do not want to see Tyler Guyton at left tackle. He may have some good games as far as improvement and stuff like that with hand placements, but collectively, I just don't see him as the left tackle for this team. Just move him to the right side. And sometimes you got to make your mistakes and make them. But you are dealing with a guy that could be an all-pro left tackle. His name is Tyler Smith. He's an all-pro guard. I get that. And I like Tyler Smith. But we need a tackle. I don't want us with the 13th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select left tackle from blah, blah, blah school. I don't want that. And I don't want y'all to be suckered into, hey, man, we got to have all 5 damn offensive linemen for the first round. No. Let's not do that. Yeah. So that's just what I'm saying. That's just my analysis of it, So we giving the kid, the rookie offensive line coach, who down the stretch, I think that he's going to have a very promising career in the pros. So we all agreed on C+ or B? Which one we agreed on? Yeah. And here's with Tyler Guyton. Move him to the right side. Tell Terrence Steele, we love you, man. You like nice, great stuff for the undrafted community pool of people. But it's time for us to let you go, bro. Your inconsistencies peaks higher than your consistencies. If there's ever such a thing. All right. So with that being said, you got Steve Simcoe, who's the quarterback coach, with Dak Prescott, 4 seasons in the league or what have you. I give him a B+. I think he did a great job, marvelous job. B+, A+, B+, A-ish, what have you. Offensive coordinator. It's always weird when you have the offensive coordinator and your head coach also calling the plays. And we would know what was leaked out maybe a couple of weeks from now, or what the hell happened with the red zone, who's doing the installments, who's doing the calling, and these sorts of things. But if I'm combining the run game of 1,000 yards from a Javonte Williams, if I'm combining George Pickens getting 1,000 yards, CeeDee Lamb getting 1,000 yards, moving the ball for damn near 5,000 yards, it's not an easy thing to do. But what cripples him,
Keith
let the
Shep
AI
$10.
speak.
Law with Smith at LT. It would hurt him. He can play for short spurts, not full-time in my opinion.
We'll get him up to full time. So you saying that he's not conditioned enough? His frame, his body mechanics, it's not built for a left tackle? And some of y'all tackle work people, some of y'all O-line gurus people, I'm going off of gut feeling, and I'm going off of what I can see. I'm not going off of all of the technicalities of size and all of this stuff. I'm going off the Jimmy Johnson philosophy. Let your best five play. What would Jimmy do? That's what we need to start asking. What you think? Now, let me be real with you, Keith. And I know you probably be a real stout of an opinion, a pedigree of O-line. And I know O-line territory, for some strange reason in the Cowboys community, people get very aggressive on their opinions. And I'm not going to hit below the belt on any of this. I'm just going out because I've never been over 250 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what it feels like to live into that world of you being 300 pounds, right? And trying to be athletic, right? But what I'm saying is when you look at this team and you putting your best five out there, regardless of how we can look at it, Nate Thomas shouldn't have been out there. And I like Nate Thomas at a Costco sample size. The other tackle, whoever you may bring in on this team, Tyler Guyton, from Nate Thomas to who else can play? Johnny Cornelius. There's nobody on this team. If we just go by the Jimmy Johnson method, there's nobody on this team better than Tyler Smith. Is that a yes or a no? So if you start in your best five, like the Jimmy Johnson philosophy, Tyler Smith, by understanding that he is your best player, he will play the best position to protect your quarterback. And that is left tackle. That's just how I'm looking at it. I think you win more games, you have your quarterback more comfortable if you have Tyler Smith as your left tackle. I'm just saying. Nate Thomas wasn't ready, in my opinion. Yeah. Our tackle soft. We need a polar bear. Yeah. Kenneth Murray would have been cut in the middle of the game. Yeah. TJ Bass is better inside. Yeah. Keep Smith at guard. Now who you gonna put? If you were to go into a battle in warship, and let me pull this up because I know that this, when we start talking about offensive line, that becomes a territory, whereas everybody wants to be right. And I get that. And I've seen some battles on social media over this. I wish I can go back, but I can't. But this is the first time, and if y'all can go back. All right, got a super chat.
At Keith Shep $5. I hear ya. Dallas needs to stop being cheap and go get a legit lieutenant.
LT, left tackle, AI. But this is the first time I saw green all across the board. This is the first time I've seen green all across the board. This is the first time I've seen green all across the board. And this is what I'm saying. No, I don't have to call the OC. You know what I'm saying? I know just as much as football as he do. But what I'm saying is, in general, that if you're going into war, if you're going into battle, there's no rhyme or reason why you would put Nate Thomas out there. If you're trying to put your best five, and there's no shade at my guy, the OC. We can talk around craftsmanships all day. But if you trying to put your best five, this should have been the solution all year long, You should have been had, because I talked to Flozel Adams, and last I checked, Flozel Adams, he played in the National Football League for this team, and he understands the nuances that's happening far as this team. And he came up with something similar to this degree. Now, I'm not saying that TJ Bass is a situation whereas he himself is the kind of caliber of guy that can be better at left guard than Tyler Smith. I'm not saying that. But just from just from offensive line alone, this would be a better output than whatever combination that you would have had with Tyler Smith inside. That's all I'm saying. With Tyler Smith on the outside, you have a better chance and an opportunity to protect your number one premium asset, which is your quarterback. The Cowboys, if you go and do a film study, you will see that teams were able to penetrate on the outside, on the tackles, to get to your quarterback. The Dallas Cowboys failed to pursue a legitimate left tackle, even though Tyler Guyton improved this year. I'm not making him out to be a villain or vilify Tyler Guyton. That is one of the things that we have to correct right there. So at the end of the day, overall, looking at this, it is for what it is. For those, all right. See, every time we talk about this, people continue, and I'm gonna move on from it. To say the same thing. Tyler Smith needs to be a guard. It's every time we talk about this. So who needed to be the left tackle? Who needed to be a left tackle then? If Tyler Smith needed to be the guard, who needed to be the left tackle? Who needed to be the left tackle? See, now we're having a conversation. Yeah. And Tyler Guyton did play right tackle in college, yeah, because they said that the quarterback was left-handed, and that's the reason why he played on that side. Who needed to be the left tackle then? See, that's why we talk about this and we had this conversation. When people say Tyler Smith need to be the left guard, then who needed to be the left tackle? Yeah. So at this point, you're trying to put your best five out there. And that's what I'm saying. Your best five, there's no rhyme or reason where you can have the contextualizations of saying that your best five is a Nate Thomas, a Tyler Smith, a Cooper Beebe, you know what I'm saying, a Tyler Booker, and a Terrence, or dare I say, a Tyler Guyton. You have to protect your best asset, which is your quarterback. And your best offensive lineman, not tackle or guard, is Tyler Smith, and you have to protect your number one asset. If you poll and if you ask any of these elite quarterbacks that ever played the game, and they would tell you, especially that's right-handed, would you rather have a top-tier tackle? And let's just talk football at a common sense level, at an elementary level. And if you poll and you ask Joe Montana, Troy Aikman, if you ask all of those boys, would you rather have a top-tier left tackle or a top-tier left guard? Let me know what answer they come up with, and then we'll come back and we'll have this conversation. That's all I'm going to say off of that, and we can move on from here. And that's just how football works, guys. I get it. We may have somebody that can play good, and it's the inverse. The craziest thing of it all, it's the inverse of what we did to La'el Collins. It's the inverse of what we did to La'el Collins. La'el Collins was considered a dominant guard, and they put him at right tackle. This is not the same thing. Let me say this again. This is not the same thing. Yeah. TJ Bass is better than Guyton. Yeah. TJ Bass is better than Guyton. At guard. He's a guard. Yeah. Can't find another Larry Allen. Sonny Styles or Jacob Rodriguez. Sonny Styles is great at what he do. Jacob Rodriguez, I haven't got a chance to dive into his tape yet.
Great point.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. And this is just a healthy debate. This is not shooting no jabs at anybody, because people love controversy, and I could care less about it, because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to put my best five out there, and I just know Johnny Cornelius, to a degree, Tyler Guyton, and Nate Thomas won't be that, you know. All right, so with that being said, there was a video out earlier this week about a guy that played on his team, and he was the defensive back. His name was Trayvon Diggs. I made a post about that I do not believe it. Now, there are a few people that said, yeah, they believe Trayvon Diggs' story of him trying to mount a TV, look like maybe a 45 or a 50-inch TV, give or take. And people said that there's actual video of him getting knocked in the head and causing him to be concussed for 4 weeks or what have you, or the team decided to put him on IR for 4 weeks. And I haven't seen that video. If somebody have access to that video, you can send it over to me. But I haven't seen that video. The only video that I have is him showing Jane Slater what was the mount was and the TV was and all of this stuff. Now, there's a few things that I want to take away from this. And I'm not trying to be insensitive to what the nature of that happening. I went and looked at those polls, and you can go to Best Buy, you can go to Walmart, and you can go to some of these mountain stores that mount TVs. That alloy is very light. It's not a heavy balance beam. I'm talking about the TV that it hangs on. TV wall mounts are not heavy. TVs these days are light as a feather, by the way. There's no more BBL TVs, man. Y'all know those BBL TVs that it took you and the whole nation of Islam almost, and the whole nation of all of the people that you can gather together just to get that big back TV up a flight of stairs. Who remember that? People would steal everything in your house. They'll leave that big back there. Yeah. You can go to grandma's house. It'll be 30 years from now, you know, and that big back TV, shoo. That big back TV, boy, they just leave that one there, man. They say, man, you know what? I don't want I don't want to steal the TV that much, you know. But it is for what it is. TV came alive, Nightmares on Elm Street. Or BBW TV, man, or whatever. But they don't have them TVs no more. I know some people in this chat that can probably pick up a 90-inch TV by themselves, but it's just putting it on the wall is going to be a difficult thing. Now, I said in my video that I do not believe the story of that pole falling on his head. Now, if it is 1,000% true, shame on me, and all props to Trayvon Diggs for coming out with it. But show us the actual video of you getting hit in the head, man. That will go viral, right? And on top of that, if it was literally that, he should have led in with the story. Hey, man, I got a strange story to tell y'all. What happened? Man, I was trying to hang this damn TV, and the pole done hit me across my head and knocked me off the ladder. And, man, I can't even really walk straight. We will all believe that if he said that story first. But for you to wait 2 months and say, yeah, you know what? Hey, man, you know, this is what really happened. I'm embarrassed. But this TV that I hung right here, you see that pole? Yeah. That pole hit me across my head, and that's why I was out for 3-4 weeks. Yeah. TV play better defense than the Cowboys this season. You ain't lying. You are not lying. Them old TV indestructible. There's some people right now got that old big TV in their house right now, and they just use it as a desk now. You go to grandma and them house, you'll see a TV on top of another TV. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. Brock Purdy is cooking. Man, I can't watch them damn 49ers. What's the score, though? But let's get to this right here.
What do you think of the reasoning and the story?
I don't believe it. I'm sorry, and I don't mean to call anybody a liar, and I'm not saying a liar, but I think that this is a mistruth because there was a lot of opportunities to clarify a lot of things that even the Cowboys believed it was for several weeks, and he just didn't want to tell them that, oh no, I was trying to mount a TV and I didn't. Because what the Cowboys thought it was a lot more salacious than a TV. So I can say, and the Cowboys, by the way, did not think, whatever that rumor that's out there that a bunch of people keep sending us, the Cowboys didn't think it was that. Nobody thinks it's that because that's not what happened. I think that I find it hard to believe that he just decided until critical mass to say, all right, I was trying to mount a TV. You waited 2 months to say that?
Right.
That doesn't.
Was it so embarrassing that that's something you would not want to come out with over a 2-month period?
No.
Nah. And people would leak that instead of leaking the other thing. And I'm not even going to touch on the other thing. Not even going to touch on it. It's not my place. But by you coming out with that, it makes you sound like, it's the holidays. Little ones are at the house tearing up stuff. And my oldest, she's terrible at telling fibs. She's terrible. Like on her tablet, she got a permanent marker. And you know how you can have those tablets where you can mark on the screen or what have you? Like those pens to mark on the screen. So I guess with the permanent marker, she marked on the screen. She didn't know, it was a permanent marker. Couldn't get it off. She drew some type of nice design. She come to me and said, Daddy! I said, what's going on? London drew all over my tablet. Picked up the tablet. I can tell that that's her drawing, right? And I said, why would she take your tablet and draw on it, right? That's the type of kind of fib that I'm hearing, right? Like shift blaming, going against the grain. And I'm not beating up Diggs. Shout out to him. But for whatever happened, it could be embarrassing, right? But it's sometimes better to remain silent and be considered a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt. At this point, it is for what it is. I get it. The campaign is already in stone. They are seeking to move on from Trayvon Diggs to save a few coins. And that's just for what it is. Frisco says, for the $1.99, Law, it's Dak's fault that he dropped the TV. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, on paper.
Yeah. It's Dak's fault. Everything is Dak's fault. You ain't lying. Shoot. Yeah, she was drawing up plays for the Cowboys. Hopefully, it is for what it is.
Sleeper is the #1 fantasy sports app. It pays to know sports. Pick more or less on top players. Your first pick is on us, so start winning now. Play in Texas, Georgia, Minnesota, and 27 more states. Pick anytime across all sports, pregame or live. Over 10 million players are already on Sleeper. Make your picks count. Score up to 1,000 times your cash. Join today. Get up to $100 credit using code LAW. Call your shot on Sleeper. Download now.
No doubt. Download Sleeper. Use promo code LAW and $20 will be added from me to you on your account. And then keep this in mind on your mental mindset. You put $100 in, they'll match it up to $100. That's $220. Yes, indeed. And yeah, someone made a great explanation. It would have been more believable if he was talking about hanging the TV and he slipped off the ladder because the pole swung and knocked him off the ladder and he bumped his head. Now, that is more reasonable, right? And now we talking about, hey, contusions, falling off the ladder, trying to hang a TV, trying to be a handyman. Now, that's a better lie. Shoot. That's a better lie. Look, that or a fib or a better story or a more tangible thing. And that could be. That could be the story. He could have told Jane Slater, hey, I was hanging his TV, the pole slipped, hit me in the head, and I fell off the ladder. And maybe she didn't add in the fact that he fell off a ladder, because you're going to need a ladder to put that up there. Strong shoulders. And the TV still mounted wrong. Want to know how I know? Because look at the plug. When you go back, look at the video, look at the plug. It's exposed. It's outside. I don't see a surge protector on it. And a little moisture in the air can cause that whole thing to just get all sparked up and all of that stuff. So, and that's another part of it. I don't think that's what we call that plug, a GFI plug. I don't think that's the situation. You know, make millions and want to install your own TV, Tinsley. Yeah. But you try to be a handyman. And here's a true story too, by the way. Let me go right here. Let me go back here. Yeah. And that stud right there, because it got to be right there, hanging straight from that post right here, from where that plug is at. And I like to hide my wires. Shoot, I want my TV to be up there without wires showing. Right? You got all of that $1 million home, and you got the TV up there installed wrong. Here's the other thing: it protects you. Let me tell y'all again, too. By the way, I get home. You want. There's millions of people die, or thousands of people. I'm gonna use thousands because I haven't did the cross analysis of reports yet. There are thousands of people die for faulty wiring and for faulty. I hope he hit that stud on that damn pole too. Right, by the way, you know, people house getting burnt down because they trying to do these DIY projects, do-it-yourself projects, and all of this stuff. Just hire the expert to come over there to run that line, to get that thing in there, to make sure there's strong wind, moisture. By it being outside, birds going to try to maybe put a nest behind it. Just make sure, man, you're doing the right things the right way. You never know, man. That could be a faulty wall mount. Somebody walk up under there, TV falls on that person's head, that's liability on you. GFCI, there you go, Ace Boog. Where all my electricians at? And I'm guarantee you, that may not be a GFCI plug or what have you. You know, I'm just saying, it's for what it is. And I'm not trying to beat him up, but I'm just saying that he's put himself at more risk and a liability for the people that come over to that house by him saying that he installed that TV. That's all I'm saying. Bro, get a professional. Simple as that. Yeah, and it remove all risk. Yeah. And when I had my TV installed, when they go over all of the warranties and what they would cover in the event, if the TV fall or somebody land on somebody, they're reliable. They are liable for it. So that's another thing. You know, remove all liability from you. Just what you want to do in life. I'm just saying. I could be 1,000,000% wrong. JD from DC, was it a stripper pole or a TV pole? You know, all I know is, man. Which storyline you'll be more embarrassed from? You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Pay the installer fee, man. Come on with it. Got a pole in my pants. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Got to be the most cheapest I ever heard. Yeah. Sometimes cheap is the best way. All right. So with that being said, sometimes cheap is the best way. But not all the time. Count your costs, baby. That's all I'm going to say on that. Yes, indeed. Where was I? I was right here, right? Yeah.
Aaron Jones is basically the mayor of Arlington and the mayor of DFW because the Dallas Cowboys are so loved that they're still number one in the ratings despite this 30-year drought. And if I wasn't good at something that so many people cared about, I would like to think that I could step aside and try it another way. For the importance of the city, for me to get credit for the maturity of doing it. Like, if Jerry 10 years ago stepped aside and let Troy Aikman be the GM, he would have received a hero's welcome. But that's not the welcome he yearns for. That's not the final applause he wants. He wants to stand on the podium with Roger Goodell, with that GM. When they pop up the Chiron, Jerry Jones, it has to say owner/GM. It cannot just say owner. And that's the difference between Jerry and a lot of owners. He needs the title credit, and other owners are like, I can still get my shine.
Jerry Jones, the owner, we can give him an A. Great owner, great person, great communication. Jerry Jones, the GM, for those who say that's Will McClay job. Well, Will McClay don't have autonomy. Will McClay ain't doing 2 to 3 interviews a week. Jerry and Steven is doing 2 to 3 interviews a week. And not like a pop-up, like 1 to 2 minutes. Full on segments. They go to commercial and they come back and they still talking to Jerry. That's a lot of information, intel. When is enough? I don't know. What we got to do collectively, boycotting would not work. I'm not trying to do that, ladies and gentlemen. I love this team, and I refuse to run away from this team, right? We can get angry and upset. He's not going to fire himself. What we got to do is outlive the Joneses. That's eat your elderberries, drink your water, and pray for the best. And Jerry's very sharp. I watch Landman. I've been watching Landman, and I'm watching Landman. I forget the character's name, but he got his dad on there now, and his dad is about Jerry age. Can barely move around. And he's still heartbroken that he lost his wife, even though his wife was on drugs and everything. And I'm thinking the whole time, when would Jerry start moving slowly and tender like that guy? And I'm not wishing this on Jerry, by the way, because the man is sharp. And he billionaire with a B. And all I can say is, at maximum, we got to go through this for 3 to maybe 5 more years. And I know I sound very crass of hoping that Jerry Jones can eventually slow down to a point that allows someone else to be in control of this team as it relates to GM possibilities. From what I was told is that Stephen Jones, even though he talks a lot, he don't really like that shared responsibility of the spotlight like his dad. And that could be our only saving grace. Now that I look back at Stephen Jones, he wanted that damn coach over there in Patriot land. What was his name? What's his name? What's the coach over there in Patriots? That's who he wanted. He wanted him to be the head coach and let him run his stuff. And maybe, just maybe, would you rather have, what's that coach? What's his name? Marks? Was it Vabril? What's the head coach in Patriots? For the Patriots. That's who Stephen Jones wanted. Not Belichick. Vabril. And I'm looking at their program, and one of the things that we've been having issues with collectively been with the aspect of, see if I can find this. Vabril. Mike Vabril, not Mark. Mike Vabril. Let's listen to this.
and special teams. This team lacks fundamental football discipline, both offensively and defensively, and special teams. They can't line up right. They jump off sides. They create penalties when they least need the penalty. And this is from all players. This is from guys like Tyler Smith and CeeDee Lamb. On defense, we're still talking about in week 16 communication. After the game, they asked Trayvon Diggs about a play, and all he kept saying was cover two, cover two, cover two, cover two. This dates back far before Shoddy, far before Michael from Pittsburgh. This team lacks fundamental football discipline.
Fundamental football discipline. I'm not saying that Vaberl is a better coach than Schottenheimer. But, man, we would have a disciplined team. Gruden would have been nice, too. Real Talk says, I want fans to make it so uncomfortable for the Joneses family. That's all, and they can sell. That ain't happening. Steven doesn't care about winning Super Bowls. He's trying to protect his nest egg. Special team killed us this season. Yep. Chicago Vic says, that's who I wanted to. I say it for you. This is from Christopher Blunt. Who you want? Who you want? You know? No accountability. And that's what really got onto y'all and most people. Because this is, shout out to my guy Nick, this is the second time in franchise history that we did this right here. Second time in franchise history that the Cowboys had 4,000 yards, 1,000-yard wide receiver, two 1,000 wide receivers, and a 1,000-yard rusher. When we look back at the games that we kind of had the ball moving and moving and grooving, what stalled? Well, when we got into the red zone, and that is on coaching, we had a lot of false starts. We had a lot of holding penalties. Our penalties became very max when we got inside our own 20, which focused us to have 3 and outs to kick a field goal. And all of them yards, and we couldn't even use the garbage time as an excuse for this season because there was no garbage time. It was like, hell, we trying to figure out a way to keep up with the damn defense. So something got to give. Accountability, it should be the primary thing that we going into the 2026 season with. Have a more accountability, Coach Schottenheimer. And let's stop playing around with our food. Let us find a real defensive coordinator that's not going to give up 450 points. That should be the battle cry heading into the 2026 season. Because we got some teams that are going to play us really good.
I didn't have a problem with the hire. I mean, he was a former head coach. You don't want to have a team of 0 former head coaches when you've got a rookie head coach there. I get it.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked.
Well, man, it does do something to NFL resumes in terms of credentials. It really makes you question how a guy who's had a respected name for a long time, you throw Mike Nolan into that. I mean, Mike Nolan's a known, and we can make our jokes and hot sauce and all that stuff, but like, you have a respected NFL resume, decades, and look and be this bad. It's kind of scary, Bobby. It makes me question some resumes.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's probably unfair. 1 year, right? Again, personnel issues. They traded.
Chris Blunt says Jerry said he isn't firing Eberflus. Not mid-season. He got 2 more games. This don't show that they're going to bring him back either, you know. Whenever you force a man to go up into the booth, that means that somebody had a conversation, said, hey. And on this topic, they talking about Matt Eberflus like he was well-respected as a name. He was a mid-tier defensive coordinator. Like I said, never topped out at top 10, top 5, top 1, not top 1, number 1 defense. He never had that. Chris Blunt says the video where he said it. Yeah, the only thing is with Jerry, you got to understand. He said he envisioned Jason Garrett lifting up a Lombardi trophy too, right? He envisioned Jason Garrett winning the Super Bowl here. So, and it took some pain for us to get rid of Jason Garrett. It took a lot of pain for us to get rid of Jason Garrett. Believe it or not. Jerry Jones like, well, that's my precious. They cheap. I don't know. If we had top 20 defense, we go into the playoffs. Cuddy says, G. Cuddy, Nolan, Kiffin, Marinelli, Eberflus. Their defense doesn't work anymore. And they all cut from the same cloth almost, man. Nolan, Kiffin. Nolan had a different variations. No, was Nolan part of that Ravens? He was part of the Ravens. Mike Nolan was part of the Ravens. Kiffin, Marinelli, they all got cut from that damn Tampa 2001 Bucks. Nolan was part of the Ravens regime or something like that. Cowboys, and I'm taking my time now. I done ran out of topics to talk about this. But I want to bring this up. The Cowboys' best chances was in 2022 and 2023. Boy, I love y'all. Oh, I love y'all. Y'all just opening my mind up. Ooh-wee, y'all open my mind. I'm going to go back. All right. Whoo! Y'all open my mind up. Hold on. Let me craft my mind. If we had the mindset to say F those draft picks after we drafted Michael Parsons in 2021, and if we had the mindset to say, man, F them picks, because if you really think about it, if we were to say, okay, we're going to keep our first round draft pick. I know hindsight is always clear vision. Outside of Tyler Smith and Bland, maybe Ferguson to a smaller degree, we could have packaged up some picks instead of just drafting these guys and get a phenomenal interior defensive tackle and a linebacker, we'd have been straight. Even if you were to say, you know, we can have the 2022 draft class, but if you say, hey, I'm finna go all in after 2022 and say F them picks for 2023 and get you a stud to marry up with Parsons. Ooh-wee. If you were to say to the Jets at the tip of the 2023 and say, hey, you know what? We'll give you 2 first-round draft picks or 2 seconds or something like that, and don't even worry about 2023 draft class. Boy, I'm going back. I'm just going all the way back. Because in 2023, our Achilles heel was we didn't have a linebacker and we didn't have a real legitimate interior guy. We were just 2 picks away in 2023. Yeah, offense was offensing. Instead of pointing fingers at this and that, and go all in for real, if we just needed to stop the argument on whether or not Parsons is off ball or pass rusher, bump all of that, he's just a specialized weapon. If they came into 2023 with a mindset of saying, you know what, we're going to do like kind of sort of like they did this year with Kenny Clark and Quentin Williams, even though they got Quentin Williams in the back end. Oh, my goodness. Because if you really think about it, DBs were DBing, right? And our safety was safetying. It's just that we had issues on stopping the run, and we had talent issues at linebacker. And y'all seen how Marquise Bell is playing, that was our solution for a linebacker. Don't y'all know that's how close we are. Now, it's hard to put toothpaste back into the tube, right? Not saying that it's impossible. So when I look at this defense now, we need the inverse of it almost. Let me pull this up again. What we need now and they going by what's going to start this week. But we do know we got Clark and Quentin Williams. I know Osa. Put Q right here. We got Q. What we need now, baby, is a linebacker. Damn, we need everything, though. Now, I can't even use that as an argument. We need linebacker, cornerbacks, and we need an edge rusher. We need that. We need an edge, man. What else we need? We need safeties. Damn, boy, we need too much now, though. Because at the end of the day, even if you bring in another coordinator, people are still going to say we need safety, linebackers, cornerback, edge rushers. Dang. I can't even fathom. We need too much now. But that was our window. Damn, that was our window, man. That was our window in 2023 if we were to make those smaller moves, bro. Good grief. Now we need prayers and everything. But neither here nor there. Appreciate everybody, man, for rocking with me. I hate to bore you guys all day. Hope all is well with you guys. Free agency is the key. But before we get moving forward, overall, this team, if you're not making it to the postseason, and if you're not going to the Super Bowl, it's a failure, right? And that's where we're at. Appreciate y'all, man. I was trying to go a little bit harder in the paint, but normally I'm not live around this time, and I see the participation is very low as far as the viewership. So I don't want to bore you guys. I know that you guys got thousands of things to do on this great holiday. But what I'm going to say is, even though we got the holidays around the corner, and they love putting the knives in our backs because we can't even have a holiday off. We got to watch the Cowboys, and we will be watching on Christmas. Was it, man, we need 2 cornerbacks, a safety, a nickel. We need Yahweh. Shout out to you, Lonnie. Our standard Super Bowl. Elbert says 2022, we were 12-5. 2022, home field advantages in the playoff, and it wasn't enough. I think in 2021, we had that home field advantage too, versus those San Fran. Yeet. But I would tell y'all, we'll be back again. We're not going anywhere. It's DC for life. And even in 30 years, as much as we complain and be bad about this and be mad about that, I would rather have 30 years of failures than 1 year of success of being an Eagle fan, a Ram fan. Let the AI speak up.
$5,194.20. Law, I thank you for everything you have done for us all once again this season. I have nothing but love for you and your family.
Oh yeah, appreciate you, Sadiq. I got nothing but love for you as well.
I got nothing but love for you, baby. Got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, baby. Got nothing but love for you, baby.
Baby, don't stop. Cowboys freak. None of those playoffs were Dak's fault. Nah. You trying to do that reverse psychology. Everything is Dak Prescott's fault. For 30 years, 30 seasons, it's been Rain Dakota Prescott's fault. So what I'm trying to get at, when it can be someone else's fault, when will it be someone else's fault? Come on with it. But for right now, it's all Dak Prescott's fault. Dang. All right, Cowboy Nation, appreciate y'all. Thank each and every last one of you all. Better luck next season, as they say. Thank those who donated. Thank those who wanted to donate but couldn't donate. Thank those who shared this content. And by the way, still continue to bless me over here on my own content creation page. Appreciate y'all. Let me see if I can get to it. Thank y'all. We have we made 110 subscribers. Let me get y'all up there. Let's get Law Nation 2.0 growing even more. Here we go. Click that button right there. I just posted it. I just posted it in the chat. So subscribe there if you're on IG. Help a brother out, right? And we're going to get back to it. You know, the journey of a man that walks 1,000 miles began with one step. And your purpose, you don't need no one's permission to operate in your purpose. As long as you operate in your purpose, everything will be purposeful for you to really get things moving and grooving. And as we depart from my communications on this mic to your ears, one of the things that I want you to hear is that, yes, it's been 30 years, 30 seasons. It's not a pleasantry of sight of knowing that we don't have life anymore for the advancement. But I really want Schottenheimer to understand that it's a privilege to get to the postseason. It's an honor to win postseason games. And it's a must that you can get there on a consistent basis as the head coach here. If I can just have one word with Schottenheimer, and let him know that you only have a spoonful of seasons here. You got to make them count. And how do you make them count? It's standing up to what you believe in. And if you truly believe that you are a great head coach, you got to walk in that purpose. You got to tell the Joneses, I cannot be dealing that I'm doing my job offensively speaking, and the defense is not doing theirs defensively speaking, because it tarnished my legacy, my name. I'm a Schottenheimer, not a Hootenheimer. So therefore, I need to be having full autonomy on this defense. I need to have somebody that can bring in something that I bring to the table. Enthusiasm, momentum, the advantage competitively speaking in situations. I didn't have that last season. So I'm standing tall on the table that I know for sure I can bring in somebody that can get us out of the 30th ranked defense, out of the 20th ranked defense, out of the 10th ranked defense, and bring in somebody that's a 5th ranked defense. We got to start picking from the litter of those who had great defenses, if y'all get what I'm saying. There's no salary cap as it relates to coaching, Jerry. So get you a bona fide stud, a creative mind. Let's stop talking about, well, this person didn't have. The talent. One of the greatest movies I ever seen was Coach Carter. They said that the people on that team, based off of a true story, they didn't have the grades, they didn't have the talent, they didn't have the ambition. These kids would never be able to win. And Coach Carter went into that high school, took the same talent that was there the year before and elevated them to state championship and beyond. It's possible. Coaching supposed to elevate players, not players elevate coaching. So bring in the coach that can identify with the strengths and weaknesses of these talented guys that's on this team, outside of Kenny Murray. we ain't asking for miracle workers, right? And healers too, Jerry. Let's stop drafting hurt players. No shade at Trayvon Revel. He's my guy. But at least start off with a good foot, right? Make sure they got 10 toes, not 8. But neither here nor there. It started by asking for those things. New beginning. DC for life. Appreciate you, Sadiq Charles. New beginning. Are you blaming Dak? That's a new rule. It's all Dak Prescott. Everything is Dak Prescott's fault, right? But neither here nor there. If you want it bad enough, you will go out there and fight for it. You'll work day and night. You will give up your time and your peace for it. And if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdy and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you'll gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan, to lose all terror of your mind. If you would simply, just simply go after the things you want with all of your capacity, strength, sagacity, with faith, hope, confidence, and stern pertinacity, if neither cold or poverty or the famish of fame or the sickness of body or brain can turn you away from the things you want, if dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty, you will get it. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, sounds of soft souls and hits and oldies. you will get it. Let's go.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, know I gave you everything I had. I gave you everything I had.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right. No, it's not hard to fool me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yes, yeah.
And Stelio 300 Cowboys $5 off. Get me as the DC.
No need to say where we are.
Appreciate your Stelios 300 for the super chat.
You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it.
So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah.
What is your
So set the bar before the moment flies. Ooh. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. Ooh. So set the bar before the moment flies. It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes, yeah, and nothing can stop me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah. So set the bar before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. So set the bar before the moment flies. Yeah.
Until next time.